What's up, guys? It's your boy, Vedic Knight, and today, guys, we're going to draw a anime Santa Claus who is looking a little bit more like a realistic anime. If you guys know how to already draw up the face, this is kind of how I do it, as you can see. Okay, and if you want a further tutorial in this, I am very happy to show you how to draw advanced faces and the head structure, facial structure of any type of character that you are wanting to design. So this is an anime style that's unique to me. I developed, and it's a little bit more realistic, but it's not hyper realistic. That is something that requires a lot more time. So as you can see here with this bad Santa Claus or muscular Santa Claus is kind of how I'm going to draw him. I have, finished his face, and I've drew up his beard and mustache. I'm just going to clean up a little bit over here. And as you can see, it's coming out pretty cool around right here. So I'm going to draw up his cap. Now, just see the part of the cap I'm drawing. The part that you put on your head. It looks like little bulges. So this is kind of how I draw the Santa's cap. Okay. I gave him a little bit bigger eyeballs because people love those anime eyeballs. And now I'm kind of giving him some wide shoulders to work with, a slim torso. All right, so as you can follow along, guys, I have a lot of experience in drawing, and I can definitely share with you guys on how to draw. I'm gonna go ahead and start inking up a little bit here. Alright, guys, so I drew up his face, and it's looking kind of cool, but I kind of I'm gonna re-ink it with a darker pen now. It's a neat technique. Ink with a small thin pen, then a thicker pen, just to add more thickness. And make the bottom parts a little bit more darker than the upper parts, a little bit more lighter. Alright, guys, so I'm going to start constructing the rest of his body, his arms, his ripped t-shirt part, his belt. I'm going to start adding some definition to his muscles. If you guys really want to learn anatomy, I can teach you guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, I'm just going to skip ahead and just start coloring. There's something about coloring, right? After doing a really cool drawing, there's just something about coloring. It soothes a guy, man. It makes you feel very relaxed, calm. I don't know. There's something about coloring. It just quite enjoyable. So the gray part, I always put, right? There's a coloring technique. Whenever you have a white color, it's kind of the shadow. Okay. You can use 3 colors. The first is obviously the white color that you're not going to use, but the gray color. And then if you have darker tones that I don't, you could use darker tones of gray, ultimately leading to black color. That would be the shadow. Anyways, that would be a coloring tutorial. Advanced coloring. Advanced coloring takes time, but if you're doing a comic book, it'll pay off, trust me. But this is a simple drawing. I'm going to color in his face. Okay, I'm just gonna color him up See how he looks. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start continuing to do his anatomical structure of his arms. And this is the gist of how you actually draw anatomically. Though I exaggerate the muscles, they don't really look like this unless you're on like super steroids or something. But that's just me. I just do it like that. I just have fun with it. You don't have to draw so much detail, but that's just my style. Dragon Ball Z style, if you want to add that. But it's not really Dragon Ball Z because this is more realistic. But it's just, you know, my style, and if you want to learn it, let me know. I'll draw up a course for you guys, or end a video tutorial. Let me know. Coming out with way more videos. I'm gonna flip this and try to get everything correct. Don't want to make mistakes. Start inking up the arms. Go ahead and erase all your pencil, but do allow the ink to dry before erasing, so don't do it right away. When you're a novice, as I was a long time ago, you do have a tendency to erase right after you ink, and that will mess up your drawing because it'll smudge. This is a cool ink technique, guys, I've learned. It is just thickening the lines, especially, you know, where they intersect with other shapes, and basically where the muscles intersect with other muscles, a little bit darker. And then just to get a 3D look, you kind of make it darker, but it has to be going to the bottom. And you know, where it curves in the muscles or the darker parts, it will become more darker. Therefore, it'll give you a 3D look. Okay guys, so these lines here, I'm forgetting the name what they're called, but they look like this. Cross hatching. So that's what it's called, as cross hatching. So it is a neat technique you learn. You don't have to use it. I just play with it a little bit here and there. It looks cool. You almost don't notice it if you don't know what it is. But it's a cool technique that I like to use. I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring in his arm. And there's also a coloring technique. You always use start with a light color, then you start with a dark color, and yeah, you can keep getting darker, and then start with a light color and blend them all in, so it doesn't look like two different colors. They kind of blend into each other. I did, however, forget to do it in this drawing, but yeah, just remember that as a side note. Also, you can fix mistakes if color you know, goes outside of the lines. You can just ink over it with a black ink. So that's definitely one way to fix your errors. I'm gonna go ahead and color the belt area black. I guess this is my own costume design for this Santa Claus. He's a bad Santa. Originally I wanted him to be kind of like without a shirt and just have muscles, like a big chest and abs, but then I thought, uh-oh, you know, let's just keep him in costume at least, right? We can do a big muscle superhero later on someday. But yeah, hands is one of those things, guys. I think most people will take at least 10 to 20 years to really master, you know. But my technique, the way I got good at drawing hands, and still, you know, I even struggle with certain types of hand movements, right? Just study each finger, study the palm, study the finger, the knuckle, and just study each finger, then start drawing it slowly, and eventually your subconscious mind will pick up on it and you'll get good at it, dog. That's it. All right, so that's the Santa Claus bag. Gonna add some lines here for his pants. More muscle definition. I'm gonna go ahead and darken everything up. Darken up the t-shirt areas, the arms, the arm muscles. Sometimes if you don't know where the muscles go, guys, you can use reference or just make it look authentic, right? A lot of people are not gonna go and check like if those muscles actually belong there. As long as it looks okay to the eyes, it should do the trick. There's no right or wrong way to draw. You know, sometimes we will become perfectionists, but muscles don't have a tendency to look like this anyway. You know, this is just fantasy muscles. I'm kind of abusing the muscles, kind of like Baki the Grappler style. Like, I'm just drawing muscles. They're actual muscles. I'm just drawing them in a way that could seem a little unrealistic, but they sink in perfectly, right? They seem real. But they're not real because it is not placed properly, right? They're fantasy. Muscles never really look like this on people. Not to this level, at least. You know, but this is buff bad boy Santa or bad guy Santa. And here we go with the soothing, relaxing color job. Let me go ahead and finish this up. I always color in circles. When you do that, you won't have a lot of smudges. Also, you won't have streaks of lines. So everything is circular. It looks good to the eyes. That's the technique with coloring, right? Circles. Draw in circles. Now, sometimes you can't when you have those long lines. And I don't want to mess those lines up, so you want to be a little careful. You're not going over the lines, those ink lines, too many times. Now, if you had a G-pen, you can thicken the lines up later on, okay? Because that won't ruin your pen nibs. But because I used pen nibs, they can get ruined if I use it over the color. Now, if you have a G-pen, you can go ahead and color over the Copic markers. That's the beauty of a G-pen. They're professional. But most of us are not ready for that. I remember when I first started out with the G-pen, guys, I messed up illustrations. Whole illustrations. Because I didn't know what I was doing. So practice, practice, practice with the G-pen. Maybe if you're a beginner, maybe you don't need it yet. 10 to 20 years in. And you want to do a manga? Sure. Sure. So what you're looking at here is a skill of 10 to 20 years. I started officially at 12, but I was drawing before that. Officially, I said I was going to draw manga or I'm going to do some sort of comic eventually in the future. I kept getting older. And I never did a comic because I always thought I didn't have the skill. Fast forward like a decade, right? Almost 10 years, and I still didn't think I was good enough. Fast forward another decade, and I still don't think I'm good enough to still do a comic book. Maybe I will someday, right? But I still think I need a little bit more practice. Maybe I'll just stick to YouTube videos for right now. Maybe I'll wait because I only want to do a small comic anyway, nothing super long. So guys, that's all I have for you for today. I hope you really liked Bad Santa Claus's video. And I hope you come back for more, subscribe for more. I'll have more authentic how to draw videos, okay? Peace.